Hey y'all, so I got a inspiration for the message today, and it kind of goes along with our current trend in the, what the collective consciousness is kind of focused on right now, which would be that election in the United States of America. So it doesn't really matter which side you're on, or well, I mean, the important thing is to realize that sides have been created, and that those sides have been created to essentially expose opposition by defining and categorizing belief systems and the way that we feel things should be done, because that's our party. That's the party. So the party that I want to go to is where everybody is invited, which is real great. I learned at one point in time along the way that when archaeologists dig up bones, that there's no way to determine what the pigment of that person's skin was. The only thing you can determine is where you found the bones. So once the vault has been revealed, essentially no one will be able to tell the color of skin. So, but we will remember stories for time to come, and it'll be interesting to see how long this story is remembered for. So, on with it. So today I was thinking about this idea. Actually, it came to me yesterday, but thinking about this idea of voting. And how it's kind of part of the democratic rule, democratic ideology or philosophy. And so voting is really interesting. You vote for a lot of things and probably do it not with a whole lot of awareness. I know I did, I do, have, working on it, playing with it, getting better at it. But when you really think about it, the voting on a national level and the way it's broken down in the United States of America, Inc., is really convoluted, and a lot of people have lost hope in the system. I had a conversation once with a friend about the idea of what if in the last election, or even this election, what if less than 50% of the people in the country that this representative or this position is governing, what if less than 50% of the citizens actually do vote on a ballot? Does that still make what the person in quote-unquote power essentially does or says? So that's kind of interesting. If you have a comment on that, comment below, because I'd like to hear what you have to say about that, differing opinions and views. So this idea of voting really comes from, so we have to get to the root of it first. And when you look at these presidential campaigns, or even any political campaign, who usually wins? It's probably the person who spends the most money, right? That's typically the person. And the person who wins doesn't just spend a few extra dollars. We're talking about millions and millions and millions and tens of millions of dollars to essentially rep this person, to put them into a position of power. They're getting their image out there, they're getting their brand out there, and in turn, they're collecting electoral votes. So, money is really the key here, though. Not the person, not the individual, not the party, not the side, not the idea, but money. As a society, we have been given this idea that worth is valued in the amount of dollars you have in your pocket. Well, number one, worth is not, at least my representation of worth has nothing to do with the amount of dollars or currency that I have in my pocket, because it's somewhere else. It's much more vast and deep. It has no limit to freedom or sovereignty. That's where my wealth comes from. And I've essentially worked on developing this idea of wealth and know where it is and know how to connect to it, and ooh, is it good. Much better than a bank account. So that's the wealth that I'd like to develop. And I feel like choosing that is a vote, right? So choosing that is a vote. That's how I vote every day, right? Choosing health and wellness. So I leave it in your hands. I mean, you have the dollars, you've made them, you've put forth the energy to make those dollars. So essentially, every dollar that you spend is an energetic exchange. Now, who are you exchanging your energy with? Are you exchanging it with corporations? Are you exchanging it with mass media and publications and things that are feeding into a system that create a machine? Or, I mean, not to say that this is black or white, that it's one or the other, because literally every penny that you choose to fork over, even if you throw it to the ground, is a vote. Okay? You have options. There are so many options available to you. And I feel like the more people that we can get in our tribe or our community or our circle who know how to grow food and know how to make food and essentially educate children so that they can be wise beyond their years when they reach adulthood and the idea of sprouting their own wings and wanting to try out with as much knowledge as a foundation as possible. Entertainment, obviously, people love entertainment. That's one thing that we have to have as a community is entertainment. There are 3 other things. I'm not going to get into that right now because the big thing today that I wanted to share, the big message, is that every dollar that we spend is a vote. And it's not necessarily walking into the grocery store, into the cereal aisle, and choosing between Frosted Flakes or Kellogg's Fruity Pebbles. Okay? The real option is walking into the store in the first place, man. You got options there. Know your growers. Know your people, man. Know the hands that prepare your food. Right? And at least have an idea where it comes from. And if you have any questions about how that operates in the body, or you have any comments about what food does to the body, and how you maybe have changed or educate your children or younger people or people who just don't know about healthy and the sense of feeling well and how to put that together, please comment, let's share it, let's make it big. I hope you have a great day. Keep believing, and until then, bye.